I don't think I necessarily thought about it so pointedly. I had been in art school. I was studying to be a painter, and I was in art school for a few years. The whole time I was making music, and I had been making music off and on since I was a young kid, mostly with my brother. But music started to become a bigger and bigger part of my life. It started to take a hold, and before I knew it, we had collected a group of songs, and we wanted to make an album, and then to share that album and to go on tour. So I think that the desire, and both the desire to create and to write and record, really were the defining elements that led to me, being in a band now. It's a trick question, because if I answer, that's me confirming that I assume 30 Seconds to Mars is special, which I don't really think we are special, but I knew that we had something special between us. My brother and I have been playing together since we were kids, so that in and of itself makes it special. And I knew that we were willing to walk down a different path. But there were signs early on that while we weren't very popular, the connection that we were making with the people that did get it was very deep. So there was always a very deep connection that we made with people, and I think that still remains true to this day. You either get it or you don't. There isn't a halfway point. It's either 1,000% or nothing, and that works perfect for me. I have no idea what I'd be doing. I certainly wouldn't have the enormous gift that this has all given me, and that's an experience that's an opportunity to experience the world and to make dreams a reality, and to create and spend my life doing that. I spend my life not enjoying the results or fruits of the labor, really. I spend my life creating and working and on the process, whether that's editing or directing or writing a song, making a short film or video or a documentary, some piece of content. But I spend my life solving creative problems and making reality from dreams. So I'd probably be in prison, in short. I don't feel anxious or nervous about putting music out there. I feel excited about it. I feel nervous or anxious sometimes about time, and not having the appropriate amount of time to do the work that's needed to get the music or songs to the place they need to be before we put them out. I never thought that I wouldn't make it back from tour, but I certainly have had moments where I thought the tour would never end, and that's kind of okay by me. I love being on tour. I love being on the road. It's not until you're off the road that you realize how long you've actually been on it. And the last time we toured for 2 years, 4 months, played 311 shows, not including acoustic shows or special shows. And that actually broke the Guinness World Record for the longest tour ever. So that just tells you one thing, is we were completely out of our fucking minds, and we toured, probably a bit too much, but it was exciting and inspiring to see all these places in the world. And we went to places we had never even dreamed of going before, whether it was touring in the Middle East or South Africa or, Estonia or North Dakota, but, places that are really special, and we had wonderful shows all over the world. So I don't know if I'll ever do that again, but it certainly was fun. I've had moments on stage where I've been really touched. I remember one time there was a guy who was having so much fun. moving around, having such a great time on the floor. And I was challenging the audience to, kind of lose themselves a bit, which is a big part of what I do on stage, just to try to get everyone to have the best time they've ever had in their lives. At least attempt to do that, to be free and let go of all of their, the things that may bog them down from day to day, because I believe that's a big part of why we're doing all of this, to share a moment of freedom and abandon with each other. But there was somebody having a great time, and I brought him up on stage, and I said, as he was coming up, I said, see this guy, this is how you want to enjoy a concert. And he jumped up on stage, and he had one leg. And I thought, how incredible that he's the example of how I felt that we should all be, and myself included, living in that moment. Here's someone with an enormous physical challenge who was the prime example without any prodding at all. So that was really touching. And you meet a lot of people on tour, whether they have challenging situations or they've just made a connection to your music, and it could be incredibly moving. But people generally tend to move me the most, and at shows sometimes you connect to the music and to the audience, and you have a really unforgettable moment. My 15-year-old self would probably do a few things to his older self, to me. Number one, I would probably steal my wallet. I don't carry a wallet for good reason, because I know my 15-year-old self is out there somewhere. I'd probably it would probably honestly be in some ways you become who you really are, and if you work hard enough, who you wish to be. But those things aren't always in line. And some of the things you may have wished for yourself don't happen, and that's a wonderful thing. Because something entirely unexpected does. And that's what's magical about it all.